Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Maria from mariascraftingcorner.com. Welcome to another crafting video. I am hoping I am actually connected. There was a lot of mayhem. If you were here before, you know that it's true. Hi, Elizabeth. I see you. I see my stuff popping. Oh my God. I think I got it. Rosie, hi. Thank you guys for waiting with me and suffering with me while things got better. So I appreciate you guys. Oof, I don't know what happened. Okay, I'm going to obviously skip all the elegant, try to buy from me, how's it called? Spiel, shenanigans, I don't know. And we're going to go ahead straight to the crafting table. And here we are. Okay, so we are starting a little bit later than I liked. Hey, Carrie, how are you? It's so good to see you here. We're starting a little bit later than I like, and I am sorry for that. There was something going between my software and my in the connection with YouTube. It was not connecting with YouTube, so it was really weird. Hi, Sandra, welcome. So it looks like it's all going well so far. We are going to make a super cool pop-up card that I don't have a way to show you, but it's something around those lines and things pop up here. It's very, very cute. I saw these from a YouTuber from Spain, and her name is Eva Pedraza. And yeah, let me see. Yeah, Eva Pedraza. So I will include in here for those that want to like listen and hear about it and something like that. I will include that link in here so you guys can go and check it out. Check her out. Hi, Kathy. So Kathy, thank you so much for your little card. It's like super cute. It's one of those easel cards, but it has like a little window and a candle, and I loved it. Thank you so much. So that is her video. Her video is actually, or her card is not really a card, it is a big album. Gosh, I'm just looking at my hands. It is an album, and it's a mini, well, not a mini album, it's, I guess it's an album, and I actually made a big one. First of all, because I needed to understand the mechanism to shorten it up, but also because it's such a cute idea, and I think you guys are going to love it. Hey, Renee. Hello, Miss Kiwi. Thank you for entertaining them while I was trying to figure out my technical issues. So it's really, really cute. Again, I have two other cards. If I move really, really fast, we may be able to finish the other card. So I have one that is cut, and that's the one that we're going to do and work on today that I had ready for today. And then I was working on another one, and yeah, I ran out of time. So what are we going to be using today? We are going to be using today our Lifetime of Love, and I know it's covered with this, but I always save everything that I have extra. I just have some really, really cheap bags that I have bought a long time ago from Amazon before I became a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, to say, to like just say, not save, to put away some of my stamps, because most stamps don't bring anything as elegant as nice as our cases, right? So it's one of the extras for having Stampin' Up! Because these cases are amazing. And we are going to be using also, so we're going to be using the bundle. This is one of the retiring sweets, because I think all of it is retiring, which is very sad because I really, really like both the bundle and the paper. And if you've been here before, you know I love that paper. And this is the paper. And guys, it's probably on sale. I have not really checked it out. As you guys can tell, I have really messed this up. But look at that. It's really gorgeous. So I don't know if you have it. If you don't have it, go ahead and get it. I think it's awesome to just have in case you really want to for especially for elegant cards. I'm thinking weddings, I'm thinking, anniversaries, that kind of stuff. Now, remember that I've told you before that I rarely ever have weddings? Well, ta-da, I have a wedding. And we're not really going, but we're going to send them a gift with a card, and here it is. We're going to make that card today. The other thing we're going to be using today is one of the new, hello Anita, of the new embossing folders. This is called the Eyelet 3D embossing folder, and guys, I absolutely love it. It's really beautiful. It belongs to the Country Bird. Hello, Suze. Well, I forgot the name of it. Is that one of the new ones? Is the one that has the birds? Is the one that I really like? Country Bird House? The Bird House? I don't know, guys. Sorry. Let's get started. Okay. The first thing we're going to do, I do have most of the things already. Hello, Amanda. Good morning. Cut, obviously, and some of the layers already put together, thankfully, because that way we can spend some extra time working on the mechanism. Hello, Sonia. So if there's questions or whatever, we can give a decent amount of time to that. So we have two pieces in here. This is 5.5 by 5.5. This is 5.5 by 6 1/8. Now, I was not able to make it smaller. Really, to be honest, I probably could have. Maybe Suze, that is the engineer again, the other engineer in the house, or somebody that's interested in working with measurements can work on it. I just thought, like the other card, I feel that they lose space and it gets too tight. So I really thought I'm just going to leave it 5 by 5. The original album is 8.25 by 8.25. Okay. So now, why am I separating these? I'm separating these for one reason. Let me try to keep these up because I am able to see here this way the comments if something happens. I think that I lost my train of thought. I cut this into, because you guys know, you know me very well. I usually make cards thicker because of the amount of layers I put in. So I decided that because I put extra layers, I am going to leave an 1/8 of an inch worth of kind of create like a little book, so I don't have to worry about making a belly band or a flap so it closes or something, right? I figure if I do this, I don't have to worry about it, and it had worked very well with the other cards. So that's a good start. So again, two pieces, 5.5 by 5.5, 5.5 by 6 1/8, and then this is scored, and I'm gonna sort of fake score it with you, but so you guys can see. So what I did is I went back and I scored at 5.5, so our regular scoring, and then I just moved a little bit further. So what I want to say is you have to move to the left to score that other 1/8, and here's the 1/8, and this is why, because this needs to measure. So I'm going to fold this now. This needs to measure 5.5, right? So just a reminder, I'm reminding you for a reason, right? So I was not paying attention and then score it wrong. So I just want you to remember that. Then if you are not going to put a lot of layers on it, then you can just do an 11.5 by 5.5 piece and score at 5.5. Okay, is that clear, guys? I know that it's pretty crazy. I'm so sorry about all the technical difficulties. I know you understand. It's not something I have control of, but yeah, I struggle when that happens. So I am scoring, I'm creasing those score lines. So this is the 5.5 one, and now I'm going to crease the other one, and that is the one that is at 5 and 5/8. Okay. Now I'm going to bring my, let me see this, my, so I got a gift. I bought something somewhere else and somebody gave me a gift. So I'm going to use that every so often. But here's my Stampin' Up! One. And I'm going to bring my tear and tape. I know you guys know that I love my tear and tape. And I know that um, I've told you many, many times that it is probably the, most useful um, and stronger glue out there for me. I know Tombow is pretty strong. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know why I trust Tear and Tape more. So I'm putting one on top of the other almost. If I would have been a little more careful, I could have really put them without them going on one on top of the other. But oh well, not much I can do. I'm going to take the first one, of course. The one that's overlapping this one first. Oh, no, before I do that, sorry guys. I know we've talked about this in the past. If you are going to, if you have, cards and you're going to put pieces together, just cut the edges. It just makes it look a little more professional. But I think it was, well, in one of the cards, I started doing this. And it is, I put first the tear and tape and then I cut it. That way the tear and tape goes all the way to the edges. Otherwise it doesn't really. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Okay, let me try to remember how to do this because it's totally not wanting to go with me and work with me. Let's see if this is going to work. Well, there goes one. There goes one. And here goes the other one. Woof, we made it, guys. Okay, so I'm going to bring the other piece. I'm making sure that I have the side that I didn't cut. So I don't know if you guys see it. You can totally tell that the cardstock is kind of forward, right? Moves. You can ease it up that way. But I always, anyways, make sure to use the side that I will call the upside, right? And we are going to align these all the way to the second score. So here would be the 5.5, and this is the 5 5/8. We have to go all the way to that score line. And before we move anything, guys, I'm making sure that I'm actually see that this side, I don't know why it's a little messier. So I'm going to use the other side where I'm going to, since it's going to be covered, right? So I am aligning these all the way to that second score. And then, let me see. And then making sure this is well aligned, right? Always remember not to put the cardstock right on the score line because it will totally mess up the opening. So just a tiny bit away from that score line. And now I'm going to glue this, and now we have our quote unquote little book. It's not a book, but you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so here we are. It's 1/8 of an inch, and that is the front. I have told you guys all the time, I always decorate the front first because once it has stuff on it, I struggle with it. You can do whatever is easier for you. We need to include the layers inside as well. So what are you going to need? And of course, I'm going to be using gold. Uh, I'm going to, so this is the front. This is 5 3/8 by 5 3/8, and this is just the vanilla one is just 1/8 smaller. So that's 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, and this is going to be our front piece. Uh, and we'll talk about probably more in depth about it later on when we're working on the mechanism. But by experience, this is not the first time, but by experience, I would say do not use embossed paper in the inside. And I'll show you with one of the cards I've made actually. It was really hard for the glue and the tear and tape and everything to actually glue well, right? And that the mechanism needs to be obviously glued, right? Like the glue. So it stays in place. And guys, it was pretty difficult. So I would say you can decorate as much as you want in here, but the inside use just the straight paper. I don't know how to call it, on embossed paper. Now look at how beautiful that embossing looks. And I don't know, maybe it's me, but when I was little, I remember having like my Sunday best had some of that eyelet stuff, and I love it. I still see it and I love it. So that's maybe why I'm partial to it. But yeah, I just absolutely love it. It's one of those things. Stamping Up 3D embossing folders, guys, are to die for. Okay, so I'm gonna bring the inside. We're gonna work on the inside, and like I told you guys, we need these um, glued or adhere before we continue. Now that if you're seeing this, what that means is you're going to need 3 pieces of the layer paper. So the first one in this case is gold, but you can use white or whatever other cardstock. That is 5 and 3/8 by 5 and 3/8, and then 3 pieces that will be the top layer of 5 1/4 and 5 1/4. Okay, Sonia. So I don't know. Sonia is asking how's the folder called. She did not give it a name, and I know I've said this in the past. Like when I find something and I sort of understand what's happening, I don't do a lot of research, so I don't know how they would call it. Um. Oh, Sonia, don't kill me. I misread your question. Hey, my brain is worried. So it is called the Eyelet 3D embossing folder. Eyelet 3D embossing folder. Choo. There you go. And it will be available, if you're not a demonstrator, Sonia, it will be available on May 1st. Yes, Kiwi is right. No, Kiwi is right, is the Eyelet embossing folder. Okay, so sorry. I don't know why I read pop up. How is the card called? Don't ask. Okay, so we're gonna add these two. As you can see, guys, I'm using a less, it's like simpler pattern because the papers in these DSP's packet it's very busy. Yeah, because it's like golds and the flowers. So I chose this one so I can put all the effort in, or all the elegant areas on the pop-up. Okay, I'm gonna do something, guys. I'm gonna drink a little bit of water because I forgot completely how to talk. So let's hope that the water helps my brain. Okay, so okay, Sonia. So you can get it on May 1st from your demonstrator. There we go. Very simple, right? Isn't that beautiful? Now, the mechanism. We are going to need, and I have all my little pieces cut in here so we can work on them. Hopefully, today is not the day that my house elves decided to work with me because they totally are crazy. So this is a piece of 4 by 4 that I cut diagonally. Okay, nothing very out of the ordinary. I have a piece of here that we can probably cut. And I just want to show you, right? Like, no, this is not going to work. Where is, we'll show it the old way. So, bottom line, this is a square that I cut that's 4 by 4, and I just cut it diagonally, right? We just done a lining here and cut it diagonally. We are going to need just one piece. We don't need both pieces, but let me remove this piece in here. uh, but you can save the other one for extra or for other cards and such, right? So that works very well. Now on the short side, we're going to align at a quarter, and I'm using the right side of my trimmer because it's just easier. So align at a quarter, and I'm going to score. Okay, there goes one. Now we're going to turn this around on the other side. So on the other short side, let me not mess it up. For whatever reason, there it goes. We are going, so on the other side, on the short side, we are going to score again. Okay, so you're going to end up with something, can you see, like that, more or less. We are going to, oh, I forgot my step. We're going to align now here using the pointy part of the triangle as a guide, and we're going to score what would be in the middle. If you are very good and fold it, so if you're very good folding, you probably don't need to score it. I don't know how people do it. To be fully honest, they just go and fold it on their own and blah blah. And every time I try to do that, it just does not work well. So I have learned that that's the reason why I have my trimmer, and we talked about that, right? You use the tools that makes it easier for you. So yeah, I can see there. So now you see how there's like a little crossing here. So where all those lines meet, there's that part in there, right? It's like a little cross. We're going to cut that horizontally. So we're going to take the point off, okay? And now we're going to fold. There's one fold, and we'll fold the other one. So now we have two flaps. These two do not have to like be one on top of the other. If they are, you can just trim it a little bit. There's not a big deal. It does not affect it. But bottom line, these should not overlap. And now these, of course, we have to cut, right? So all we need to do is cut it there and just cut in a diagonal as well. And kind of funny because you end up making another little triangle, and that is part of our mechanism. Now on that area that we score, so on the middle, we're going to fold like that. Okay, so very simple. There you go, nothing major. That's really the most important part of the mechanism. We'll work on the second most important one. Now we're going to bring this in here. I may put my big head in front of your camera view because this takes a little bit of practice and being and like really looking in to make sure that it is put correctly. The first thing is we need to glue this a little bit like creating a dome. I don't know how to say it. When I was writing the tutorial, I don't know how to explain this, but we are elevated, maybe, right? So this is not going to go flat. When we glue it, this needs to have a little bit of an elevation. How much? I have to tell you and be completely honest, guys. She didn't say, and I've just been pretty much guessing. I have calculated that something like that. So if we bring, maybe, I do have a ruler, like we're looking probably like not on that end, maybe like an inch from the, here from this would be the top of our elevation. It's like an in, like an inch kind of. But again, I have not figured out if it needs to be a specific, which means that some of them are a little higher, some of them a little lower. they work, so it's okay. But yeah, try to calculate about an inch of elevation. And this needs to go about, I'm going to put it in here. It's about, I want to say between a fourth and it's not an eighth, but it's about a fourth of an inch from the edge in. So what I would say is, if you're using a second layer like I do, or your first layer is a fourth of an inch smaller, then use that to guide you. I'm going to use him here to guide me, and see, like, that's what's going to help me. But you see how it moves and moves because it wants to go a different way than you want to put it. And I'm just thinking, if I did, yeah, I would say about a fourth of an inch. Now, you guys know that I trust my only my tear and tape for these things, and we are going to do this with tear and tape. It is probably, so I'm going to say two things. If you guys know that if you want to use glue, Tombow is really strong, so I think Tombow will do perfectly okay. Partially, I'm using the tear and tape because that way I don't have to wait a whole lot for it to dry, because what it is true, and that is true for a whole lot of the interactive cards, is that you really need to let things glue completely, or if it's liquid glue, it needs to be really dry. And well, especially today, we don't have a whole lot of time. So, so I'm going to remove the first one, right, of these. I'm not going to remove this one just yet. And here I'm holding with one hand. I'm making sure that this is elevated, like we talked about. I'm bringing these, I'm not pushing anything, guys. And moving there, no, my head is not there. See what I'm saying? A little bit higher. So maybe 3/8 of an inch. Maybe there. Yeah, maybe 3/8 of an inch. Again, she didn't say either, so that's kind of like what I did was like, okay, let me increase, zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, so I could see more or less what she was putting, and I could not tell exactly. So the ones I've made have worked, and since that has worked, I um yeah, I take my good luck and move on. So again, see, okay, this is not glued yet. Making sure this is elevated, creating that dome effect. I don't know how to call it. These needs to be aligned with the center. Since we don't have just one score line, but we have an area, right? We have the eighth of an inch. It's just calculate the middle in there, but that's not a big deal. And that's where this is going to go. Okay, so you see, would you say it's about 3/8 of an inch, right? Because this is an eighth, this is an eighth, and this would be more or less of an eighth. So I'm gonna come here again. I'm just gonna help this a little bit. I don't want it to come off. In one of the cards, it kept coming off, and it kept coming off, and really, I think it was because I had embossed the paper, and it just wouldn't glue, right? And now this is going to come in here, and again, see the dome there? There it is. It's elevated. So, but this is now a little easier because we just have that as a guide, right? Making sure that it's centered. It's pretty centered. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to remove the backing, and I'm just going to, let me see, make sure it's more or less in the same. You see? Right? So it's harder because it's not flat, but it's not that complicated. And look, the oops, I had not, like, all I'm doing is putting it there, but I'm not like really pressing because I want to close it to make sure that it's actually going to close. And it felt like it did, but I am not sure. So the other thing I'm going to do, just because I'm going to give this another push, and let's see if that works too. That looks fairly good, huh? Okay, so it's opening and it's closing. And that's one of the things that we're going to do throughout, and it's make sure that it's opening and closing well, because there's a few pieces to it. Okay, so there's, I can hear it and I feel that it's moving, so I don't know. Hopefully it stays. First step. The second step, so we have two pieces here of, this is 1 and, this is not cut very well, is 1 inch by, let me see, sorry guys, I just noticed that it's not cut well all the way, and I don't think it's going to be an issue, but I don't want it to be an issue, so I'm going to move it there for 1 second. Probably I was not holding it straight. So it's 1 inch by 6 inches. Very simple measurement. Oh, Anita is saying that she made an album with this paper. And this paper is really lovely. I completely, like, I'm in love with it, right? And I am actually going to glue these together. So I think our cardstock is good enough that it will take the tear and tape, well, it will take the hard work that is going to be put through this, because this is part of the mechanism. But I just feel that, if, might as well give it some extra strength, and this is now thick. We know our cardstock is very good quality, so this will definitely work. Now we are going to score at 1, and it came off, so we'll have to work on that. We're going to score at 1 here. At 3, at 3/4. Sorry guys, that got me distracted. And I'm using again the right side of my trimmer, so 3/4. And we're going to go around and we're going to score again at 3/4. And at 1.5, and this edge here is 1.5, so I'm going to move all the way there to 1.5, and I'm going to score, and making sure it's score all the way through, because again, this is very thick. Okay, so let me come back here, because see what I was telling you, these needs to really stay, otherwise we're going to have issues. Let me see. Okay, this is closing, which is a good start. Oops, sorry guys. Let me put some extra pressure in that turn tape. Okay, so we're going to bring the little piece. We are going to fold one side, and we're really going to push in on that crease. So we crease that as well as possible. This needs to be creased. If we see it this way, and I'm thinking, I don't know how to explain it, because I feel that if I say mountain, people are going to say, no, that looks valley, right? So I don't want to confuse people. Bottom line, this needs to be creased away from you, huh? And it's going to be glued in here. These two, they need to be closed, folded towards you. Okay, both of them. And I'm going to do that now, because this needs, again, a good crease. And the other one will need, again, a good crease. So this is how this is going to look. So if I see it from this, perspective, I would say this is mountain, and then you fold valley. But if you see it, once I put it in here, people are going to say, no, that looks like valley, mountain. So away from you and towards you probably works best. Now we have to put this right in the middle of this little triangle. The best way to do that, of course, is to measure here, right? And this has to be 4 inches. So around 2. Now it's a triangle, right? So it has a, you guys know, right? It has this top is the middle of the triangle. I mean, give or take, right? This is not a perfect triangle, but good enough. And so I'm going to use these as a guide. And all I'm doing is looking in my sides and making sure that they are more or less the same. Is it better if you measure? Probably, right? Um, but let me show you. There, it moved a tiny bit. Okay, let me show you there. So you see what I'm saying? You can just use the tip of the triangle to guide you, and that looks fairly centered to me. Okay, so just like we've been doing, I am going to bring my tear and tape, and we're going to put 2 pieces of it because we want maximum hold. And let's go ahead and take that and the other one too. So this is fairly simple so far. And again, I'm not pushing here. I'm just making sure I find that middle. That seems fairly centered to me. And even if you make it here, right? And again, this is totally what me eyeballing this. So I just don't, there we go. Okay. So we're going to bring again our bone folder. We're going to press and we're going to make sure that it all folds. You know, every time that's going to be our repetitive action. We're going to make sure it folds. Every little thing we add extra, we need to make sure it folds. Now, I'm going to bring this piece that is the last piece of the mechanism. Maybe not the last, but this piece is 2.5 by 3 3/4, and the layers are just 1/8 small. Okay, don't worry about all those measurements. You guys know I always have a tutorial, a PDF tutorial, and if I didn't have for whatever reason, at least the measurements I will include. This is what we're going to do. We're going to come here on the long side, so that's the 3 3/4 side, and we are going to align at 2 1/8. Okay, so there's my 2 1/8. Sorry, I'm gonna do this on the back actually, because we have to work a little bit on it, and I just realized that I'm always messy, and I don't want to really mess the front of it. So I'm gonna bring my pen, guys, and I'm going to make a soft line there in that 2/8 of an inch mark. Okay, now I'm going to move here again, and we're going to go to 1 5/8, and I'm going to be using the right side of my trimmer just because it's easier. So it's right aligned there. Let me bring this a little closer to me, and I'm going to make a mark. Okay, a little mark. We're going to turn this around, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go ahead and mark at 5/8. Okay, in that mark that we had. So let me show you how this looks. There you go. You can see it. So all I did was pencil that line in at the 2 1/8 mark, and then on 5/8 from the edge, from each edge, I made a little mark. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to cut between those 2 marks. So I'm going to line again at the 2 1/8. That's where we had it initially, right? And I'm just going to cut between those 2 lines. I'm going to move this a little further closer to me so I can actually see. This has 3 pieces of paper, right? Cardstock, the gold foil that is super thick, and DSP. So yes, we need to really push to make sure that it's actually going through, right? And we're going to go back, and we're going to make sure that it cut, and see, it did cut. Now right here it is, right? I'm going to move a tiny bit towards the right, this time towards the right. And so we were at 2 1/8. I'm moving a 16th. You can move even to 2 and leave an eighth. I'm just going to leave a 16th. Hello, Miss Donna, how are you? And so there we are, a 16th towards the right, right? That's what we're moving. And we're going to do the same cut. So between those 2 points. Is it harder to see because they're not really marked? It is. But we just like lift and there you go. Now we're going to make sure that this is cut all the way through, and it is. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to bring my, take your pick, and I'm going to separate this a little bit so it helps me with when I bring my snips. Okay, so maybe. There we go. So now I'm just going to put this back all the way here and this other piece back all the way there. And you see what I was saying? Like all these looks very decent on the front, but it looks not as cute from the back, right? So that's why I prefer to work in the back. So remember the 2/8, this is 2 1/8, right, from here. So these is going to be our bottom. I would say choose a paper that does not have so that does not have a pattern, so you don't have to worry much about it, right? Like, oh my god, I did it on the wrong way. But the shorter side needs to go here, and this needs to go in here. We're going to glue this, but I just want to show you how this goes, and that way we try. Oops, see, that's strong. So okay, see, that's how this will go. So we need to glue our card in here. We're going to center it. We're going to put mainly on the lower side or on this lower side because we need this to have movement for when this is coming through back and forth, right? So not on the top. Let me move this so I can show you, because these, you see that the top of the triangle kind of goes in there, so we don't want to kind of glue anything there and interrupt that movement. So I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna choose pretty much, you know, that there. So a little bit, I say about 1/2 inch down, just for being safe. So Donna is saying that she loves forget-me-nots. I didn't know, but look at that, and wasn't I lucky? And yes, I did put more glue than I needed on the sides. So I'm going to let these dry for 1 second. It does not have a whole lot of craziness in the side, but I am going to try to take it off with my hands while I'm holding, right? I'm holding and holding because I don't want this to move a whole lot more, and take that glue off. And now I'm going to hold back and hold it all the way. So all we did, guys, is adhere these. We centered as best as we can here. We're going to make sure, wait, that it closes, and it's closing. So good start, right? It's all closing, and I am not seeing anything in here. So that's a good start. Things are working so far, so good. Now we're going to bring our piece in here, and we're going to put this one in here, okay? So this goes through, and this is mostly the mechanism. I did have another cut out piece. This is going to be go in the front in here. This piece measures 4 by 3 by 2 3/4, and the layers are 1/8 smaller. This piece goes in here, okay? So all we need to do is add the glue. I'm going to add it in here, and same as before, because this is going to be moving, we need to put the glue only, like I would say maybe about 1 inch from the top. And just like we did before, we're going to kind of center this, right? Am I eyeballing? Here, let me show you. Am I eyeballing that this is centered? Okay. So these two, I guess, the way to measure for me is the difference between these two edges and this piece, okay? And I'm waiting for that to glue, but not a whole lot. and I'm making sure I don't see it here. Good news, and it folded. So that's all good news. Now I'm going to make sure that this is glued all the way. So I'm going to give it a few seconds just like that, so it does not move. In the meantime, we have a couple of things to work on. Let me see if I want to stamp now. No, let's finish this and then we'll move forward. I'm going to bring my turn tape again, and I should have put this ahead of time. I completely spaced it out. That's fine. We need 2 pieces in here. Okay, so these, and we're going to take those backings. You can totally use gluing here, the Stamping Seal Plus, whatever you're comfortable with, you can use it here. I told you guys, 1, I trust my turn tape, and B, that way it's a little bit faster because we don't have to wait for this to glue all the way or to dry. So this piece in here, we just put the glue. Let me see. It all seems to be well glued. Okay, so we put the 2 turn tapes on the first flap. Remember that we have like 2 areas there. We have a flap, like the edge flap, and I'm going to call it the middle flap. We put it only on the edge. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold this and align this edge. So the edge, let me see, this edge here needs to be aligned with our card piece here, with our piece that's vertical there. Does that make sense, guys? Am I explaining this correctly? Do you understand what not? Am I being clear when I'm explaining? Let me know. Let me know, because we can go through this over and over again a couple of times. There's no problem. Okay, let me show you. See what I'm saying? Now this is like a line with the edge of the card. And it's not perfectly aligned, so I'm going to remove a tiny bit. I'm going to align it, and you'll see why that's important. It really needs to be as well aligned as possible. So edge with edge, I guess, is the way to say it. That seems a little better. Nope. It's being rebellious. Okay, there we go. I think I got it. So now I'm really going to push that, because I've been opening and closing or gluing it and ungluing it, and hopefully that sticks. Okay, it seems like it's going to stick. What do we have to do now? Besides not wasting turn tape? Close it again. So we need to make sure that it's still closing. Still closing, guys. Good news, good news. Right? Okay, so that's the second. The last piece of the mechanism is going to be a little piece of 1 inch by 2.5, and then the layers are 1/8 of an inch smaller. And this piece is going to go right in there. Okay, so because it's easier, I'm going to put the turn tape in here again. You can totally put it in here and calculate. It's 3/4 of an inch, right? So you can totally calculate this. It's not a big deal. Okay, here we go again. We're going to take your pick and remove those backings. That is a little bit rebellious. Okay, we got one. And we're going to go through the other one. Okay, everybody's very silent. Am I explaining this correctly? Ask now, guys. Ask now. Put a Q and I'll pay attention. So I did decorate this because you will be able to see it when you're opening. So I figure, why not, right? It looks cute. And this has to be, okay, the edge, so the bottom edge of our piece needs to be aligned with this edge. So the inside edge, is that how you will call it? And they measure both 1 inch, so there should be no problem on the width of it. But that's what this goes. Okay, there we go. And next step, we make sure that this folds well. And it did. That's the good news, guys. That's the good news. And it's a little bit harder sometimes to get it going, but it does get going. Okay. I think it needs to get used to it. Okay. Thank you. There we go. So that is, whoops, there we go. The last piece, yes, it is the last piece, I promise. It's this one, and this measures 3¼ by 2, and it goes here on the top. Okay, so I'm going to bring the glue, and then we can stamp and let that really like dry. And this, we're going to put the glue on or the piece that we just added. So on, and we're going to center this with the piece below, right? We're going to hold that, make sure it's straight. And I'm going to make sure that it closes, and it does close. This is not gluing completely, so I'm just going to hold it for 1 second. And now I'm going to close it completely. And it did close, so that's all the good news. Yes, I would say so. Yes, do it step by step. You will have the tutorial. I did have to stop and go, especially because she, first of all, talks in centimeters, right? Hey, Deborah, how are you? Um, and and I just is understanding the mechanism, so it's not very complicated. But see, now I'm gonna let this glue for a second while we work on some of our stamping, and we're gonna bring our pretty peacock, and it's a wedding card, guys, so I can actually use the sentiments from the Lifetime of Love. And this one is beautiful because it says, wishing you a lifetime of love and happiness. I have not used this in the past, so there's that. Making sure that all is working well. And I'm going to put this one a little bit towards the top. Let me bring the actual piece I'm going to use in here. So 1 second, guys, so I don't mess it up. Yeah, there it should go. So towards the top right. And you guys know I struggle. I'm standing up so I can see better without that glare. It's a circle, so that always makes it simpler. And I'm really pushing, so my stamping is good. Okay, that's the first one we need, and then we're going to need a little other piece. I am using one of the decal circles in here. This is just a piece I cut, and I don't remember the size, but I would say it's about 1 1.5 by 2.75. Okay, and this is the other piece we're going to use. Oh yeah, it says forever and always. Sorry guys, I forgot what was my next piece, but I remember. It's all good, guys. And we're going to center this in here, and I'm using my grit paper to help me out. And again, you guys know that glare kills me, and it really, really does kill me. Like I can barely see. Okay, that's decent enough. Not super center, but we can work with that. Okay. Perfect. We are going to close this so we avoid mayhem. And we're going to work with the outside for a minute so all that gets dry and working, and hopefully it's okay. We're going to work with the front. Anyways, so you guys know me, right? I always have a variety of things that I cut and I do. This is the paper the cardstock I need to order. So I have a little note in there. So I decided this time, so we've done this, we've used these sweets several times, right? And so I decided to spice it up a little bit. I did cut the same kind of frame, but I decided that I was going to use the DSP for the inside of the frame instead. I have used it the other way, most likely like the DSP on the outside and then the frame in the white or very vanilla. But I decided that I wanted to use it this way, so it gives a lot of that gold, and I really love because these are small flowers, and I just feel that it's so delicate. So that's the first thing we're going to add. We're gonna add this one first, and here is my little glue dispenser that I hope is gonna work. Oh, it's working, guys. It's working. It's always a miracle when it works. This glue dispenser, guys, is the glue pen from Stampin' Up. The glue pen they have, it does bring a type of glue. I don't prefer that glue. I was not super excited about it. But once it's gone, it's gone. And guess what? You can just refill it with your Tombow, or if you don't want to buy Tombow, which whatever glue you want to buy, right? Um, so that's just how I do it. Okay, so thank you, Elizabeth. I'm glad that you like it. I saw this and I'm like, you guys know that that's how I decide cards, right? I saw things and I'm like, I have to try this, and you guys kind of craft with me, so that's what happens. So I'm trying to make this and put it as centered as possible. Um, right, center on the side, center on the top and the bottom. I honestly, like I say 100 times, right? Like there's nothing perfect, so the best you can is what needs to happen. And now we're going to bring our piece that it's already, that is the DSP. I can use this, it doesn't matter. Okay. And just like making a puzzle, we're going to put this puzzle together. And it really looks like beautiful. Like, let me move this. It really pops, right? That little piece of DSP pops so perfectly in here. You could totally keep doing this like the rest of the flowers. I decided to leave it very, very simple because I figured that, it does not need a whole lot. I did get, you guys figure it out, right? One of my favorite, how are they called? Wanted to say dies. Guys, I've used this, I don't know how many thousands of times. And I'm going to put this one in here. And I feel that that does it, right? Of course, we're going to bring some dimensionals, and I like those strips very much. So Donna is asking if I saw this on Pinterest. No. Actually, you know how it goes? Like, I saw this on YouTube. It's a lady from Spain. I think it's from Spain. Her accent seems to be from Spain. So we can put this one in here like that, and it looks just so beautiful. And her name is Eva Pedraza. That's the name of her channel. And I will put it back in here because after all the drama we had, I can put it up, I can put it down. I'm going to put it a little bit down, like more in the middle. But of course it needs to, straight is a good idea. I think it's straight there. Okay. There we go. Isn't that cute? Now, I don't know if you guys remember the gems that came with it, and this is going to work wonderfully here because they will pop up perfectly against the berry vanilla. So we'll put some of those later. So we're going to remove these and go back, and ta-da, it opened. That's very good. It's always a good start. I actually, guys, have one of these, and I forgot, and I can put that one I color. Remember, I always save the stuff that I don't use, and I've told you that 1,000 times. So I have two of them, so I can actually put two of them, like one there, maybe. So I've not decided. Maybe one. They're both different. I can put one. I really like the idea of one. Right? What do you guys think? And then we can try to use the other one in the inside. Okay? Think about it. Do we want one, or do we want one and the other just like that? Or maybe one and one higher up like that? I don't know. They're very pretty. I really like how this looks. Let me show you. These were colored in watercolor paper with the blender pen. So, in case you were wondering about it, it's very easy to color when you use the right medium. So the watercolor paper works beautifully for that. Okay, let's go on ahead. See how swift it. Maybe you need to push it a little bit sometimes. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Like one of the others don't. So I don't know. So we're gonna decorate now the inside. And okay, the first thing we have is this piece that has wishing you a lifetime of love and happiness, and we're going to put that one aside in here. So Donna says one, and this is actually a cutout of, and we have a few of those. Let me show you. Let me go back in here. So when I cut this piece, right, I have a leftover, which is this piece is this one. So this one is would have been like part of this little arch thingy. And so what I figured is I want to reuse this because it's so beautiful in that color paper and using that, because it's got the golds in it and the pretty peacock. And so my thought process is we're going to put this here as a decoration, sort of like that. And I really like how that looks. So let's go ahead and glue our circle first. And this needs to go about there, right? So it's not like centered. I'm just calculating good enough that it will make that, and then we'll bring this as a decoration. And bringing back again that glue pen thingy. And I just realized that there's a spot there that I did not remove. Let me see. See, I did not remove one, and there's one somewhere else. I saw it. There it is. Ha! Just wanted to be in the card. Okay, now we go back. Okay, just make sure that at least like the tops of the leaves have some of it so they don't fold at some point, right? Thank you, Sonia. I'm so glad you like it. Okay, there's the thing. And so we'll bring this one here, and then it just looks, it's a simple decoration, but it's so perfect for the card, right? Now, the next thing I have is I want to bring, so these beautiful forever and always, we're going to add in here. And you can totally add it beforehand. I don't know why I didn't, but I don't think it's going to be too complicated. Oops, this kind of got stuck in there. So hopefully this works well, and maybe not. I think that's what happens, guys. Every time, doesn't it? So let me spread that, clean my finger. Sometimes. And so what I'm bringing here is, I'm just moving this a tiny bit this way so I can center it. But because it's glue, it's very easy, right? Like you can move it, have some leeway. And so now you have that way, and it looks like that. Okay. So the last thing I have, this is a piece from another one that I have used before, like in the past. I have a few of them. Again, we've used this suite quite a bit, but I decided to glue it all together, and it's glued with Scotch tape. Yes, very, I know. I glue it and cut some of it because I just wanted the whole flower. And I'm going to put this one from top to bottom. So kind of we're creating like, I don't know, like a circle-ish, you know? I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I see it. So we're going to put some of these in here. So again, what I did with this is the part of that arch, and I just kept all the cuts inside using Scotch tape, guys. Nothing major, nothing. So now it looks like it's right, like it kind of closes back and forth. And we're making sure what? That it closes. Very important. That's the most important part. Okay. And now in here, I was just thinking to keep it pretty simple. Um, so you guys can tell I have a few of these. I can put like maybe, or maybe one of these that are colored. Um, since they are both like that, I can put maybe, let me see, you guys are not seeing. Something like that. I'm not liking that. I wish they had like one and one to both sides. Um, so it looks like that, but not. Anyways, I'm thinking I'm just gonna keep it very simple and put this little leaf, and that's it. No extra anything. You can totally put something else. Actually, in part of my we're gonna write something and just send it separately. You guys know that I have awful handwriting, so there's nothing new to that. But you can make like a little white area here and leave it to write your message. Um, we can also put some of that, like if you want some leftover flowers around, you can use some of those. I have all of these from previous projects. So, but there it is. It's not that simple. Okay, so let me move back in here. Let's bring this. I really love these gold ones, and it's just going to be so easy to put some of them around because this is such a beautiful 3D embossing folder, guys. I just love it. So they're very, very noticeable because of the white very vanilla background. So Sonia is saying that it's trial and error for you. Sonia, trust me, it's trial and error for me. So this is me. This is the last version. I did not keep all the versions like I have done, but like this is me. And as you can tell, I was playing here and messed it up. And these are all the pieces. So it's always trial and error, guys. It's not. I just think that because I made a few extra cards, and of course, it made it simple. I mean, made it easier that way. But that's the practice, right? So this is our card. This is our wedding card for our friends that are getting married. And it opens and it goes like this. And that's the dog. Okay, so that's the first card. So let me show you the big one. So the big one is this big. And let me see, guys. I'm going to remove a little bit so you guys can see not my mess, but how big it is. So I am using for this one the kit by your side, and this is how big the other one is. And like I was telling you guys, it's 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. She works in centimeters, so if somebody else uses centimeters, I would recommend to look her YouTube. There you go. So, but look how beautiful this is, right? Because this is so big that you can, that's what I was telling you guys, it's more like an album, right? So you can actually put pictures in here, and here and there, right? So it's much more of a gift in an album. As you guys can tell, I had some issues in here, definitely, at the very beginning. But I absolutely love this. I actually used most of that kit this weekend, so that I was very excited about that because I got two of them. I got really excited, and so I'm very, very pleased with how this looks. It's lovely. Again, you can put pictures in here, pictures in here, pictures in here, pictures in here, right? You could even make an extra flip for an album if you want extra information. I did not because my goal really was to learn the card, right? So, but I really love it, and because it's big, I figure I can just decorate more like a scrapbook, um, and loving this and how big it is, and it's just gorgeous. I just love how big it is and the options to put pictures in it. Okay, so this is the big one. The next one I did was these, and this is using some new products, right? These are the beautiful. Why do I forget the name of them? That is so not cool. Bounded Beauty. What's the name of this one, guys? These are the masks. This is the one that brings the layers, the masks, and the die cuts. I forget the name of the bundle. I'm sorry. Um, Maybe I can see from here. Yeah, there's a lot of wishful thinking. Anyways, this is a little simpler because it does not have gold. And if you notice, this close a lot better than this one because, whoops, because this has the gold and our gold foil is really thick. But this is using Petunia Pop and the paper from that sweet. About, oh my gosh. Guys, you can tell me. And if you hear a dog, is my daughter's dog that we are caring for. Let me see if I can find it. I forgot the name of it. If somebody can help me, I will appreciate it. Okay, and then it opens, and I just use the paper and the dies. So these are the dies of the bundle. And of course now I'm like signed off, and I have to sign back in, and all the good stuff. Um, this is paper. All of this is the paper. These are all the dies. And this is the embossing folder. And this is what I was telling you guys, that it really took me forever for this to get stuck because the embossing folder would not allow both glue. I put glue. I put the tear and tape. Thank you. I'm bound beautiful. And so bottom line, I would think that it's better if whatever you put here does not have a lot of layers, or not layer embossing. But look at how beautiful this is. I'm looking for it because why not? Oh, thank you, Sonia. Yes. So very cute. This is the first one I made. But see what I'm saying? This closed very well. So I don't know why this is closing well and that one is a little bit rebellious. The last one I did, yes, is a Christmas card. And this is just very, very elegant, I think. It's using that beautiful paper that I still have a few pieces in gold. So bare vanilla in gold only. I did not have any more of the stars, so I used these little birds from the Meandering Meadows, which work perfectly okay, I think. And then it just opens and it has, a little manger, the big stars, much simpler. I would have loved for this to be embossed. That would have bring it as a notch up. But I just didn't want to play with it, and so this is, and it has like wishing you the best and brightest season. And I just feel that it's very elegant, very beautiful, and this one also closes well. So whatever. And this is the one that we made today. And that one is a little more rebellious, but I think I'll close. I'll show you the other one that I was working. Layers of Love. Thank you. Um, but it's not finished. But you'll have like an idea. So I have this one. So we'll have in our class last week we were playing with the little pigs, and so my thought was we can bring this too. So we colored this piggy and the bike. Well, really, this piggy we colored earlier. I was trying to figure out the colors of the pig, right? And so this is with bubble bath. It's too pink for me, but it just works really well for these papers. So hey, we can use it. So this is going to go in the front, and then we will build it up all together. We'll have this one in here with the other pig. So that one will go there. And these are the layers. So this will give you an idea of how it will look, right? In the end, kind of setting. And this little pig will go here on the top. These are the layers for the. And then I have this one in here. So that one's going to look somewhere along the lines like that. And I can play with a lot with this. I can put the balloons in the front. And here we go. Layers. Okay, layers of beauty. That's how it's called. But I did not have time, guys, to finish it today. So here's what we are at. Lots of possibilities. These are, so I found out that the paper is not being being retired. The memory pack is. These memory packs are awesome. I mean, if you like these colors, I will suggest that you grab a few, because the new memory packs are smaller and they don't have stickers. Or at least the ones that I saw that I got, they did not have stickers. And so you make the most out of these while they last. We got it, guys. We made it. So again, this is going to go somewhere like that. And it's just going to be a beautiful and very, very colorful card for a birthday. Um, Let me bring the other cards in here. The ones that are not done. And here we go. We're done, guys. I am so sorry it took us so long to start. It was quite a mayhem, guys. And I appreciate you staying with me and watching. Thank you for being so faithful and so good friends. There's no way to thank you for that. So let me move back in here so you guys don't have to talk to the hands. I know I love for you to talk to the hands. Let me see here. Um, are there any questions about the card? I know that I moved a little bit faster than I was thinking just because we started so late. So are there any questions? If you have any questions and you don't want to ask them right now, or if questions pop up later, um, do send me an email, right? Here's my emails, mariascraftingcorner.com. If you don't have a demonstrator, you can also send me an email and I will gladly send you a catalog. So you can look at this beautiful stuff that is coming. I will send the catalog probably closer to the first, because can't send. I don't want to send it super early and then just you're not able to buy anything. Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. Finally, guys, this is the kit that I made the big album with. It's called By Your Side Kit, and it is available in the online store. It's adorable. I made another card with it today for the Stampin' Up! Funful blog. Hope Hop. I'm really bad with that name, but it's a very long name. But it's a beautiful card. Don't miss them. If you go to my blog, and I may have to do another card with that one because it was a really cute card. I don't know if you guys saw that one. And if you like the video, please like and subscribe and share. We appreciate that. It helps me a lot in here. Actually, let me show you. So this is the card I made. Let me go back in here so you guys can see it actually. Actually. So isn't this just the cutest? So you open up in here is using magnets, right? So you have like a little flap and then a little flap that goes up, and then this goes like that. Very simple to make, guys, like in an hour, especially with a kit, right? All is there. And isn't that super cute? Oh, Jeannie, I'm so very sorry. Jeannie's saying that it's not available in Canada. I'm very sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe it's too expensive to ship. Um, and I know they like their little boxes, but by the way, I told you that I bought two, and so when we reach our 4,000 people, hopefully, eventually, I do have I do have one extra. So I will do that raffle. And if you take it off, I mean, it's not going to be cheap to send it, but if I'll just take it off the box and send it in a bubbly packet, and that probably works. So, anyways, that's coming hopefully eventually when I get um, my 4,000 people. Thank you, Elizabeth, for sharing. Thank you, Carrie. It's really cute. It's really easy to make that card. So just wanted to let you know. It's in my blog and all the measurements are there. There's fast instructions. It's not a video, but fast instruction. Oh, I didn't read that correctly. Sorry, Virginia. Virginia is saying that it's unavailable, like it's sold out for now, and so it'll come back soon. But it's okay. It's okay. I'm glad about that. Okay, ladies, I can't thank you enough for being here, for staying, even if we had all those technical difficulties at the beginning. So I can't thank you enough for that. I hope you have a blessed rest of your evening and a wonderful rest of your week. And I will see you Friday. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. And again, have a wonderful rest of your evening.